Right, let's hope it doesn't die this time, shall we? Hi everyone, welcome to round number 3 of the TRT Breakout League in association with Rogue Energy. What a start we've had, now over halfway through, and it could not be closer at the top. XL and IFR are 90 points apiece, 79 points up for grabs this evening, as there are in all of the 5 events during the TRT Breakout League. And a tense race expected at the 5.4 kilometre Bahrain International Circuit. 7 race winners here, 5 winning constructors here, and 5 teams going for gold tonight. So absolutely no room for error. My name is Rob Kershaw. Internet permitting, I'll be guiding you through tonight's action. As per usual, 18 minutes of qualifying, a 50% race as our 5 teams of 4 drivers battle it out for supremacy. And, well, it's been going pretty well for at least 2 of our teams so far. IFR with both the wins so far in Silverstone and Japan. However, those are actually, there are only 2 podiums as well. XL with 3 podiums, Vapor with 1, TRT and VER yet to score a podium just yet. IFR also with both the pole positions. So certainly has been a good event so far for IFR. XL in the end so far scoring more points finishes than them. 8 points finishes for XL, with 6 for IFR, 5 for VER and Vapor, and TRT stuck with just 2 points finishes so far. And as such, they are slightly struggling down towards the bottom of the order. So they need points tonight. Unlikely that they'll be able to win the Breakout League from this point onwards, but we certainly will see what they can do, what they can achieve between now and the end here in Bahrain. And of course, in the final 2 rounds, Belgium and Brazil yet to come. This round 3. And Bahrain, well, it's a circuit that Formula 1's seen a lot of recently. We're going to be pre-season testing in Formula 1 in real life, and of course, first round of the season will be at Bahrain as well. Join IFR Jojo on the run down towards turn 8 on his outlap. It was emphasised quite a bit in the Discord chat before that everyone didn't want daylight this Bahrain race. They wanted it on the official time, which yeah, I don't think is a bad shout. Certainly does look beautiful in the evening. Back to 2014, the first ever night race in Bahrain certainly did. Well, it looked pristine, didn't it? This circuit looked a lot more, let's say, a lot less boring than it did before that. But the action certainly since 2014 has been fantastic in Formula 1. And certainly in league racing as well. It gives you a rabbit out of the hat as Jojo rounds the final corner and prepares for his first flying lap for the IFR team this evening. I'm not resting on this weekend, on this evening I should say, this race weekend. It's a little bit of a pivotal moment really. The deadlock at the top, the 90-point deadlock, has to be broken tonight, and it surely will be. Jojo opens up the DRS on the run out of 3 in towards the fast right-hander of turn 4. Quite easy, there we go, I was just about to say that, quite easy to invalidate the lap around here. He's just gone wide at turn 4 and does exactly that. Jojo, so that lap will not count for him. Here's another IFR driver. This is Fruitful, running down towards turn 4 as well. Lots of drivers in league racing always just taking that wide line on the entrance. He manages to keep it all together on the exit and avoids invalidating the lap time. Down towards turn 8 he comes. A warm welcome to everyone just joining us. Qualifying's just started here for the Bahrain Grand Prix in the TRT Breakout League. No lap times on the board as of yet, but of course they are coming as Fruitful rounds turn 10, a very strong braking zone as he breaks through the left hand of turn 9. So much torque and G-force, and the loaded tyre struggles quite a lot. You'll see knock-ups, particularly in the first part of the Grand Prix, as everybody tries to get the tyre up to speed with, of course. Cars full of fuel as well. In towards the penultimate corner, then comes Fruitful with a very tidy lap so far. Blue and white car. I think IFR are pulling off the blue and white a little better than Williams did, particularly in 2019, as Kasu goes P1 then, with a 125.2 for Vapor, and across the line now comes Fruitful to displace Kasu with a 125.1, a tenth of a second quicker as P1 goes into P2 with 125.1 as well. King is on medium tyres as XL Lando slips into P3 and IFR Mikras into P1. So it's so far an IFR 1-2 at the top. 8 drivers so far have set a lap time. And this time Jojo's gone off just to let some drivers through. Vapor Canoe on a lap as well. Kasu in this, excuse me, that's coming up very late. Yeah, in this session for Vapor, who they're doing better than TRT, but I think certainly they would have preferred to be doing a little bit better. Points wise, where they are currently. I'm not firing shots, just general observation. XL Neo goes to P1. I'll stop digging that hole. 124.7 for him. M Short P2, so it's now a 1-2 for XL. And it's still a 1-2 for XL as Vapor Canoe goes P7 for Vapor. So the highest Vapor driver up in P7. So yeah, maybe not the best start for Vapor to this evening as IFR Fat. It's turn 10 and opens up the DRS. Any predictions for tonight? Any observations? You give me a shout in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know you're there. Love to say hi to some of you. That'd be good. Into the final corner then comes Falk. He's got his IFR teammate to give him a little toe. And eventually gets out of the way. It's a really, really nice bit of synchronised swimming there from IFR. But a bit of a lock-up for Falk into the final corner. Is that going to affect him all that much? As he comes across the line now for the IFR team and goes P7. Was the lap time affected a little bit by the lock-up? Who knows? Bando Biz has gone out for Vapor. Just made his debut in Division 1 in the Formula PlayStation League this Tuesday night in Canada, but it, sadly for him, didn't go all that well. Retired from the Grand Prix along with his teammate TRT James. And a big shout out actually to TRT James for putting this event together, the owner of TRT Esports. TRT, of course, the team that's making sure this event can go ahead, and TRT James, definitely the man who made that happen. So a big shout out to him. As around the final corner then comes Bando Biz, and up towards the line the green Vapor car, P14, 125.8 for him so far. Ledyen's got a 141.6 for Vapor. So I say Vapor, sorry, TRT is what I meant to say. Sorry about that. Cliffy and Jojo then yet to set lap times. Jojo's back into the pits after his aborted lap. And hopefully he'll be out as soon as possible. Cliffy then in towards the final corner for TRT, which is not Vapor because it's green and not blue. Across the line then comes Cliffy to start. And he's playing so XL Neo with just under 11 minutes to go is P1, M Short P2. Both for XL, IFR Meatcraft and IFL Fruitful, making up the next two positions. VER Iwan is the highest VER driver. XL Lando in P6. IFR Falk P7. XL Moon in P8. Vapor Canoe in P9. Kasu is P10. Dream Indigo is P11. Niklas P12. And Aqua is P13. Cliffy has his lap invalidated. A couple of drivers have falling foul of track limits through the exit of turn 4. Watch out for that in the race as well, because you just never know how much of an impact penalties could have over the course of the 50% Grand Prix that we have ahead of us. XLB running very wide. Status lap. Yes, of course, we're going to be on that this time around. Johan have gone out laps. Jojo as well is out there. There's no pressure just yet to set that up time. We have 9.5, just over 9.5 minutes left, so certainly will be, well, this time looking to make it past turn 4 on his lap, and then go from there. Turn 4 really, the only place you tend to see drivers getting a lap invalidation, unless they really are pushing so hard and they make a mistake and lock up. So you never know. It's Jojo here on his out lap, looking to get his tyres nice and warm. 2 IFR cars in the top 5, and Jojo would love to make that 3, if not put his car onto provisional pole position. But it's currently less than a tenth of a second separating the two XL guys of Neo and M Short up front before you go down to P6 to find the next XL car of XL Lando. But you can see by the timing screens, it's all pretty close. It's not as if anybody's drastically running away with it. Having said that, though, Silver said in qualifying before my entry time was looking a little bit closer, I would say. However, still time left. Certainly a lot of drivers who can find a lot of time in this session. Slow moving cars come out of the pits as he runs it through turn 1 in towards 2. And just to the exit of turn 3 is the DRS line, and he pops that open and charges now down towards turn 4. This is where he had his lap taken off him last time. Clips the apex. Is he a little bit more cautious this time? Well, he's marginal, but he gets away with it. Manages to avoid a lap invalidation through turns 5 and 6 and 7. Now the downhill braking zone of turn 8. Just gets a little bit light downhill and he locks up the hill in towards this really tricky double left-hander. Braking through turn 9 in towards 10. Another little lock up on the left front. Let's open the DRS again. Down the back straight. And up towards turn 11. Which then takes him up the hill. The flat out right-hander of turn 12. There he is. Got to be careful not to clip the curb on the inside because a lot of drivers get caught out by that. It's a very good job through there from IFR Jojo. And if he can nail the final corner, the ultimate corner, then he might be on for a very good lap indeed here. As down towards the final corner he comes. Gets it in the braking zone, down to 4th gear. Holds it there. Good exit. And out towards the DRS line for him. And what's this going to be in terms of lap time? It is P1, 124.5. So, well, it took a couple of attempts to do it, but it's a brilliant lap from Jojo. Is that going to be beaten between now and the end of the session? The one thing's for sure, that's a very impressive lap time from Jojo. Cliffy's just backed out of his lap. Meanwhile, there is XL Neo in the distinctly McLaren-looking XL car, the blue and orange. That's a question, though. Do XL pull it off better than McLaren do? Another one, let me know. Mikras has gone P3, so he's displaced M Short in P3 as we rejoin Neo in towards the penultimate corner. Gets it down to 4th gear. Oh, he invalidates the lap. It was looking like a really quick run through the final penultimate corner, I should say, but just took a little bit too much in and therefore took a little bit too much out as he went over the curb and invalidates the lap time. Cliffy with a 130.1, so of course he had backed out of his last lap, let's not forget, so that was obviously just to start another one. So we will be seeing him hopefully setting a decent lap. However, the worrying thing is he's on 3-lap old medium tyres and he's just invalidated this run as well. So if Cliffy's going to get a lap time on the board, he needs to get a bit of a move on, and I would probably suggest ditching the idea of the medium tyres. Unless, of course, he does want that strategy advantage, but he's then got to make sure he gets a lap time done here. Or gets a significant lap time done, I should say. Colin, P19 for Vapor, 127.3, so quite a way off. King has done in front of him as well. Just over 5 minutes to go. M Short across the line. P2, 124.6 for him. It's reasonably close, just over a tenth of a second behind Jojo as XL Neo retakes P3 off of Mikras. So it's now an IFR car in P1 and an IFR car in P4 at the moment, with 2 XL cars separating them. So it's a top 5 dominated at the moment by IFR and XL, which, well, I suppose if you look at the standings, that's exactly what you would expect. The 2 teams tied on 19 points at the top are the 2 teams dominating it up front. However, we've got XL Noon in P9 and IFR Falk in P12. So depending on the progress those 2 can make between now and the end of the session, and of course then in the Grand Prix itself, who knows what's going to happen to the championship standings after round number 3 of the TRT Breakout League in Bahrain. So just give me your predictions then for pole position. We've got Jojo in P1 at the moment for IFR. XL, clearly the team closest to challenging them. we usually see Vapor Canute drastically improve his lap time towards the end of a qualifying session. So do let me know. This is going to be a pretty intriguing finish, I would say. The lap times are dropping. It's getting a little bit closer out front as well. So this certainly will be a fascinating end to the qualifying session here at the Bahrain International Circuit. Usually 57 laps around this circuit. As we watch the Dream Indigo up the hill in towards turns 9 and 10. Ferrari, the most successful team here in Bahrain, 6 wins as Dream Indigo loses the back end and just hold on to it on the exit of turn 10. A massive indication that this isn't going to be a competitive lap time from him. Ledyen, if I can say the name, has gone out for TRT. Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton tied on 4 wins apiece at this circuit. And, well, could be 5. Could have been 5 for Sebastian Vettel. Of course, 2010 was the 6.2 kilometre, much longer version of this track. Is that a dab? Has Alpha just sent me a dab in the chat? Wow, okay. Alright. That's put me off. Anyway, so that was a much longer version of the circuit, but then he had the win taken away from him with an exhaust problem. Ferrari and Fernando Alonso taking the win on that day. 11 years ago now that was. Just to make you all feel old. I mean, yeah, I'm only 21, but I feel old. That was 11 years ago. Hi, Mies. How you doing, mate? Just over 2 minutes to go in qualifying, so just getting our drivers back out on track. A few on and out lap, and we'll see if Jojo can increase his lead out front. We'll see if XL can do anything about pole position. Remember, the point system a little bit different here in the TRT Breakout League. Pole position earns you a point, fastest lap earns you a point, and the points go down to 13th place. If the point system varies just a little bit, still 25 points for the win. But everything counts, and certainly there is never a moment to give up in the TRT, or in league racing as a whole, you have to be honest. So, drivers then heading out off their flying laps. Who's just had football training? I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I'm praying that my internet holds up tonight, because this is actually a race. Well, I want to see every race, but I do want to see this one. I want to actually watch a TRT event without my internet lying on me. Hopefully football was good. Hopefully F1's going to be better than football this year. Who knows? I don't know. Canute then, P7 for him at the moment, the highest placed Vapor driver. And as I mentioned, Vapor in need of some good results. 5-point finishes and 1 podium, so certainly more on the board than TRT have got at the moment. TRT with just the 2-point finishes to their name collectively, as I say. Vapor with the 5. Vapor, XL and IFR have all scored podiums. No podiums yet for TRT and VER, but we'll see if that changes. Right, half a minute left here in qualifying. Here comes Vapor Canute. There's 2 wheels on the sand on the run down towards the final corner. This one as he comes up towards the line, crossing the DRS line, flips open the rear wing, across the line for Canute, and it's still P9, and he's just over a tenth slower than his last lap, so that will not do for him. Jojo's out on a lap as well, as he just comes through turn 12, and now in towards 13. Vapor Trench is, well, he's on an out lap still, but I don't think he's going to have time. No, he's not, so Vapor Trench will be down in P17, E1 P12, Falk can only do, well, he can do P7, so in the top 10, well within the points playing positions at the moment for him. As round the final corner then comes Jojo. This is going to be an improvement on his pole position. Lap time, yes it is, and it's 2 tenths quicker, nearly 3 tenths quicker. And IFR here set to take the 3rd consecutive pole position in the TRT Breakout League, unless M Short or Neo, or indeed anyone else can do anything about it. XL Lando is still out there, as is VER Dream Indigo. Vapor Canute, I think, crossed the line with enough time to go, but has he taken too much out of his tyres to set another competitive lap time? We will see, as here comes M Short as Neo goes, well, he goes across the line but isn't able to do any better than P2. So XL's hopes here, you would think, rest entirely on M Short's shoulders. As he comes up towards the final turn, just locks up slightly, manages to collect it all round the final corner. Is it going to be enough, though, across the line for him? No. It's an improvement, but it's not enough to get himself onto the front row. XL Lando goes up into P5 for XL. Displaces Fruitful, so that could be an important change. Fruitful's had his lap taken off him as well because of track limits, which is certainly going to help XL's cause. Oh, it's absolute chaos. Ledyen's trying to set a lap time, and he's got all sorts of cars in front of him, stopping him from doing so. Everybody vying for the same bit of lap time, which is going to be Ledyen is unable to put a lap time together at the end. He crosses the line and is still in P8. That is everyone done then in qualifying. Everybody's qualifying laps have been completed. Vapor Canute back in the pits, so he could not go for a better run. And here in Bahrain, it's another pole position for IFR. It was pole in Silverstone, it was pole in Japan, and it's now pole in Bahrain. And a pole position spot which has been converted into victory 7 times, proving to be very valuable because it's been converted every single time so far by IFR. So it's Jojo then in P1 for IFR, takes pole position, IFR's 3rd consecutive pole in the TRT breakout lead. XL Neo in P2, M Short in 3rd, Mikras takes P4 for IFR, XL Lando in 5th place, Fruitful takes P6, VER Dream Indigo, the highest VER placed driver, in P7, Ledyen in P8 for TRT, Falk in P9 for IFR, Vapor Canute rounds out the top 10, it's XL Noon in 11th, Iwan P12, VER Aqua in P13, Kasu takes 14th, Niklas in 15th, King in 16th, Trench down in 17th for Vapor, Bando Biz 18th for TRT, and Colin 19th, with Cliffy in the end disqualified from the session actually for TRT, so not a good session for him. Certainly quite a few drivers who will be aiming to make their way up from the back of the grid, and we will see if they can do that. There have been 5 wins from outside the front row here in Bahrain, with just the 4 from 2nd place. So it's a pretty even going thing, has to be said, in Bahrain. Pole position certainly doesn't necessarily guarantee your success, but it is, of course, the highest percentage of race wins. And speaking of race wins, let me know once again in the comments who is going to win. Are IFR going to convert this pole position into yet another victory in the TRT Breakout League and break ahead of XL? Is there going to be an XL winner? Is there going to be a winner from further down? No driver outside of IFR XL in the top 5 after qualifying, which is an omen that doesn't look good for TRT, VER or Vapor, but crazier things have happened in league racing, and hopefully for everyone's entertainment, crazy things will also happen here tonight as we get underway on the formation lap. So IFR currently doing, well, a superb job in the Breakout League. TRT putting this event together, AFR storming in, taking everything. It's been a really, really brilliant performance collectively from them so far. But 6 points finishes to XL's 8 are not exactly a concern, but certainly something they'll be looking to turn around and change as this race progresses. Race distance here in Bahrain compared to a usual 308 in what would be a 100% Grand Prix, 57 laps, of course just the 29 here. Michael Schumacher has the lap record here. It's a 1:30 0.2 from him, and that's the race lap record. It's pretty incredible that hasn't been toppled yet here in Bahrain, especially with these brand new cars. The fastest lap ever, that was Lewis Hamilton this year, actually, in qualifying 3, 1:27.2. Of course, the week just before he caught COVID and had to sit out the next race. And what a Grand Prix Sakhir was, with Sergio Perez becoming the 110th different race winner in the history of Formula One. Are we going to have a different team on the top step here in Bahrain, other than IFR, who have taken them both so far in Silverstone and Japan? XL really looking the only team who can stop them at the moment. The highest non-XL or IFR driver is VER Dream Indigo in P7. So there is to be a non-IFR or XL winner this evening. It's certainly going to have to come from a long way back indeed, as everybody just sets themselves on the grid. 336 kilometres on the run. Pole position down to turn 1. Who's going to be in the lead come the end of that? The Bahrain Grand Prix. Is underway. It's a really long hold. It's a pretty good start from second place from XL Neo, but IFR Jojo looking to hold it into turn 1. He manages to do so. As down the inside goes Mikras, and M Short in there as well, trying to defend the position from him, but he manages to do so really well. Mikras and Fruitful now getting very close to each other indeed, as falling down the order is Ledyen for TRT. But Jojo with a brilliant start up into P1 in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Fantastic start from pole position. Dream Indigo, who started P7, has fallen right the way down to the back of the order. What's happened to him? He's clearly been in somewhere off, as well as gone Vapor Canute. So Canute for Vapor has spun round in towards the chicane. Well, Alpha literally just said, let's get a clean race this time. And on the opening lap, that has not happened. Two drivers in drama already, as Cliffy now goes side by side with Niklas. Niklas with a brilliant bit of power on the exit of turn 10. Manages to steamroll ahead of Cliffy. So that's the TRT driver now under pressure from Vapor Trench, who's gained 1 position off the start because of Vapor Canute's spin. Vapor Canute down now in P20. Sorry, I jinxed it, says Alpha. Yeah, you did. Sorry, mate. But it's still Jojo in P1 already here, looking to break the 1 second DRS window from XL Neo. Just over half a second separating these two out front. XL Neo's getting not going to be enough to get him ahead. Meanwhile, Legend is just having a little look at Falcon. And King as well, making a move. King trying to get past XL Noon. It's very close indeed between those two. Side by side now, the run down towards turn 4. And who's going to get ahead? It's King and Noon. King on the inside, Noon on the outside. They're still side by side on the exit. Neither of these two are going to give it up. But down the inside now goes King. Keeps the position from Noon. And it's P9 for King, P10 for Noon. Really good little battle between those two. Meanwhile, in front of them, Falcon is being challenged here by Ledyen, who is certainly not giving up on this position for the IFR driver. It's still a top 7 dominated by IFR and XL on lap number 2 of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Jojo still leading up front by 7/10 of a second. Hasn't quite broken the DRS just yet, and I suspect he won't do by the time they cross the line and begin lap 3, when DRS, of course, gets enabled for the first time. And it's a sea of blue and green as head towards the end of lap number 3. Still XL with 2 cars on the podium. Mikras not far behind M Short as they exit the final corner and down towards turn 1 they go, as Jojo sets the fastest lap, 1:29.4, half a second now in it at the front. A little bit closer gets Mikras to M Short, not quite close enough for the move just yet. Further down the order, Dream Indigo getting past Vapor Trench, but Vapor Trench looking interested in getting the position back as he dives down the inside, but thinks better of it. Dream Indigo getting back ahead, P15 for him, Vapor Trench in P16. with Iwan just behind now, looking to take advantage of the battle going on in front of him. Jojo managing to sustain the gap at half a second. Back to Excel Neo, and a bit of a lock-up from the Excel driver. The hairpin of turn 8 as they climb the hill in towards the double left of turns 9 and 10. Of course, the advantage that Jojo has is that he hasn't got any dirty air in front of him, so that'll just make it a little bit easier to defend from the cars behind. And of course, the likes of Neo have that dirty air, which is just going to facilitate a few lock-ups and increased front gripness because of just the sheer amount of dirty air that's being put on the front end of the car. So we'll see a bit of a lock-up though from Jojo. It's going to cost him a tiny bit in the penultimate corner. And if Excel Neo can get it to run we'll see what he can do with the help of DRS. Class 1 DRS straight. It's not really much between turn 3 and turn 4. It's a much bigger one between the final corner and turn 1. Mitty's retired from the session for TRT. Miserable night for him. Here comes Excel Neo, looking to make it a good night for the Excel team as he gets closer to the leader Jojo. Not quite close enough for the move just yet, but you rather feel as though it's coming. Yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. No sign of a safety car just yet. Jojo will just be looking to try and increase the gap, but he hasn't escaped DRS, and Excel Neo is certainly not going to let him escape anytime soon, applying the blowtorch to the back of the IFR car and putting him under a lot of pressure here. Meanwhile, we've got 3 Vapor cars down in the final positions. Vapor Trench P17, Colin 18th, and Vapor Canoe in P19. And the highest Vapor driver at the moment is Kasu, and he's only P11, so just within the confines of the points paying positions for him. It's a really tough start to the race. It's been a really tough first 3 races for Vapor so far. TRT at the minute looking okay for some points. Ledyen is the highest TRT driver, but he is still only P8 himself. As through turn 11 then comes Excel. He's getting Excel Neo, I should say, getting so much closer to Jojo, gaining so much ground on the IFR car in front, and surely here it's just a matter of time before he gets in front. As again, it's a lock-up from Jojo. A little bit wide goes M short, but it's not going to give the chance just yet. Excel Neo might be close enough for a move into the final corner. He thinks better of it. Going to try and get the good exit now out of the final turn. And if he does so, surely here, there's nothing Jojo could do. Neo with a really good run. Opens up the DRS, and surely this time it's going to be a change of leadership in the Bahrain Grand Prix. He pulled out of the slipstream, goes to the inside, and Excel Neo has the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's an Excel driver in P1. IFR's spot on the throne at the top has been taken off them, but here comes Jojo coming back at Neo, and is this going to be enough to retake the lead? Tries to hold it round the outside. Tell you what, that's a brilliant move to get the lead back. Fantastic racing there from Jojo. Excel Neo thought he had the move done, and he did for the moment. Now look at M Short looking to go down the inside as Neo reels from being passed around the outside, but Jojo did not give it up. And he said to Neo, well, you know what, you're going to pass me, I'm going to go around the outside. That's a wonderful move from him to retake the lead. And, well, it was almost like candy from a baby down the home straight. Certainly the opposite of that as we got into turn 4. Wonderful move from Jojo, but still the pressure is there from both Excel drivers here. This battling has allowed both of them to catch up, and also IFR Mikras. Excel Lando is only just hanging on to the back of Mikras, who would love to break the DRS behind him. Slightly wide goes M Short. Is that going to be the chance for Mikras? Just get a little bit closer to him, but he is pretty close as Neo rounds the final turn again. And once again here, as into the pits comes Jojo. So that's a pretty early pit stop from him. So Excel Neo does now have the lead. And here comes Mikras down towards turn 1. Is this going to be enough here to get past M Short? But M Short's actually pretty close to Excel Neo. But no change just yet between any of these drivers. Into the pits as well as come Dream Indigo. He was involved in that incident at the start. Vapor Canoe also getting in a bit of drama. Hard tyres on. So dare I suggest that he's going to try and go to the end on those tyres. I would be amazed if he managed to do that. But quite a few, because we've got BER Aqua, Bando Biz, Niklas, BER Iwan. Of course, them, along with Colin, they all started in the hard tyres. But we'll see how long they can take those hards, and provided how long they do, will be an indicator as to exactly how long Team Indigo can take those hards, and whether or not potentially try and take them to the end, but that's a huge arsenal. Very much doubt that they'll pull that one. They'll have huge tyre disadvantage towards the end of the Grand Prix, potentially even puncture territory as well. Right, XL here have a little bit of a decision to make because they've got one car in P1, the other just half a second behind with Mikras so close to them. They also have to consider as well, of course, the fact that the former race leader Jojo has come into the pit with the medium tyres on. He's now P16, 2.5 seconds behind as well. So XL have got to play their cards right here, choose which car they want and choose when they're going to come to the pit. Nobody responding to Jojo yet. We've got some IFR cars in the pits, so Fruitful, Falk, Ledyen as well is into the pits for TRT. There they are. Ledyen, hard tyres on for him as well. So everybody's sort of just responding to each other. So about 41 a lot is of its chest played at 100 miles an hour. And everybody just really, I think, trying to psych each other out with these strategies. Who's going to come out on top? So XL then with this 1-2 at the moment. IFR Falk has just come into the pits, is just ahead of Colin. So 13th now for Jojo, 14th for Fruitful. Falk out of the pits in P15 ahead of the Vapor car of Colin, which I think is quite important for him to be in that pocket just behind his IFR teammate as opposed to behind a Vapor driver. And there is Mikras again, looking at getting closer to M Short, and I just wonder if M Short's going to be wondering. He's going to be asking if he should be allowed to be in front of XL Leo. Hopefully be the race engineer. Hopefully the race engineer will get to the screen. Anyway, down towards the final corner they come. And well, it's 0.6 of a second now, so I don't think that's really a small enough gap, is it, for XL Neo to let M Short. In the pits comes Mikras. It's going to be an XL 1-2-3 as XL Lando now takes third position. Then towards his pit box. It's a set of soft on hope it's going to be a set of hard on the car. Yes, it is hard tyres onto the blue IFR car. King has come into the pits as well in that brilliant earlier with XL Noon. And put him into 13th. He comes into the pit exit just behind his teammate Ledyen. Just in front. Vapor car of Colin. So, for him, Colin still in P60. XL Lando has just picked up a penalty. It's now a 1-2-3-4 for XL because XL Noon, who was in that battle earlier on with King, has now taken P4. So, at the minute, of course, we're still waiting for the pit stops to play out, but it's looking very good indeed for the XL team with 4 cars out front, 3 of them all within DRS of each other. And again, just this question with everybody pitting behind them, getting the undercut on fresh tyres. XL have got to decide who pits first, who has the lead. Then they've got it all figured out. Jojo, pole sitter in P10 at the moment, making his way back up the grid, making up time on the XL cars. But it has to be said, their soft tyres, I don't think, are doing them too much of a disservice as they continue again for another lap. Pits comes Lando, so not touch him. So they brought in the third place driver, and I just wonder if this is a ploy to try and back up Jojo. It does depend where he comes out. Is he going to be in front of Jojo? Has he got the gap back to the IFR driver? No, he doesn't. Jojo's going to be in front. So if that was a ploy to back him up, it certainly hasn't worked. I doubt it was. Jojo's miles in front now, and also put in just outside points winner. It's going to be very close. No, he's still ahead of Ledyen. So in P13, Ledyen's settled for 14th place, just outside the points paying places at the moment. So into P13 for Lando. Well, that's sent him out with a penalty as well behind a train of IFR drivers. Jojo, Fruitful, Mikras and Falk. So 4 of those to try and pass. Quite a big gap now for him. Interested as Lando locks up. 2/10 now of a second between Neo and M Short, and surely here this has to be a bit of a change from XL, because Short is being a little bit held up here by his teammate, unless one of these two is going to peel into the pits at the end of this lap. Of course, their teammate XL Lando just came in the last time around. Into the final corner we go. Who's going to come in? It is going to be both of them at the same time. So Neo's in, and Short's in. So it's going to be a... It's not going to be a double stack, is it? Because it's all different. So that does make sense. So XL Noob is now the driver out front. He is the P1 sitter at the moment, as Kasu right behind him for Vapor, still on the medium tyres that he started the race on as well. Meanwhile, behind them, Bando Biz getting involved in some action with VER Aqua. Just in front of him, VER Niklas behind him, so he's in a bit of a VER sandwich at the moment with another VER driver of Iwan behind. So Bando Biz in some hostile territory here as far as TRT are concerned, as he follows Aqua through turn 8. And they come up the hill towards turn 9. Iwan just gaining a little bit on these drivers. Jojo as well, improving 2.5 seconds behind Iwan. It is with Niklas and Iwan very, very close to each other behind him. No change of position just yet between the VER drivers. Aqua, Bando Biz, Niklas and Iwan all started the race on the hard tyres, so we'll not be seeing them come into the pits for a few laps yet, I would suggest, unless they play a strategical game and change their pit stops. There will always, of course, be another plan in the works. Down towards turn 1. This is going to be a little bit vulnerable to Niklas here, I would suggest. Niklas getting close towards the stream with DRS as well, but Bando Biz getting very close also to Aqua. Oh, down the inside goes Niklas. That's a bold move, but not quite enough. It was a little bit too late in the day to go for it, and Bando Biz manages to keep the position for the time being. Meanwhile, XL Lando gets ahead of Falk and squeezes the IFR driver out into turn 1. So XL Lando with the move then on Falk, getting ahead of him into P10. Falk has now lost ground to Ledyen as he goes down the inside. And Falk's going to try and cut back underneath. Ledyen should have the drive. And again, Falk finds himself being a little bit squeezed. That's just about within the rules. And it's a good move then from Ledyen to take advantage of the pass just before it. As Bando Biz still locked in this battle with the VER drivers. Aqua just in front of him. Niklas still right behind. Iwan's just got ahead of Niklas, I should say. So yeah, Niklas down to P6, then Iwan up to P5. Niklas is losing a lot of ground now to Jojo on his fresh medium tyres, so it shouldn't be long before we see that blue car in the background catching up to the yellow, black and white car and passing him. So here comes Iwan, now looking for the move on Bando Biz, who went defensive initially but thought better of it, didn't really need to in the end. As XL Noon comes into the pits, but we're going to keep watching this because Iwan going for the move now on Bando Biz. Surely here the TRT driver isn't going to have anything to respond with here. Behind there, Jojo. Oh, it's down the inside of Bando Biz as Biz tries to go round the outside. Oh, he's done it. That's a fantastic move by Bando Biz. Brilliant move on Aqua. He was defending from Niklas, and in doing so, he went round the outside of Aqua. That's fantastic from him. Meanwhile, Ledyen involved in the battle. He just went wide on the exit of turn 1. XL Neo and M-Short and Falk all getting involved in that battle, with the TRT driver Ledyen being pushed out. And meanwhile, XL Lando going side by side with Niklas. It's all going on here in this middle stint of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Lando with the move down the inside on Mikras. He's mounted the curb. Mikras should have the drive round the outside, and he does. And he manages to keep hold of the position. Meanwhile, Aqua's got back ahead of Bando Biz, so Biz turned that defensive move into a move around the outside of Aqua at the start of the lap, but Aqua's taken the position back since then. Iwan now right behind Bando Biz with Jojo, who just took the position from Niklas down towards turn 1 earlier, is now on the back of this train as well. What a brilliant bit of racing this has been so far. Iwan now closing the gap. Not quite close enough for the move into turn 1, but it's surely about to go on down the home straight with Jojo with a fantastic exit. Bando Biz comes into the pits. No, just goes very defensive indeed. But Iwan's about being passed now by Jojo. They're all getting closer. Aqua's in danger as well. Bando Biz goes down the inside of Aqua. Can Aqua hold on to it? Oh, he half spins. That allows Niklas to go through. Iwan to go through, I should say. And Jojo still trying to attack Bando Biz. Now he gets ahead of him on the run down towards turn 4. Can he do it? Yes, he can. And Iwan takes the lead. Iwan gets ahead of Aqua. So lots of change of position here in Bahrain. Aqua being passed initially by Bando Biz, but he couldn't keep it together. The TRT driver. Have a look as well at VER. Niklas trying to get past Bando Biz. He's not done yet. Now they're side by side. Bando Biz will go defensive into turn 9. Will Niklas go down the inside? No, he won't. Oh, but he'll give him a love tap in the braking zone going into 10. This is fantastic stuff between all of these drivers so far, keeping it nice and clean as well. Here comes Jojo down the inside of Aqua. Can he get it done? He's going to try and force him out wide. Aqua's still there, but he can't stay in front. And Jojo climbs up now to second place. Oh, a bit of a lock-up from him as Aqua gets very close indeed to hitting the back of him, but Jojo's held it together. And now he's going to try and go a little bit closer to Iwan out front. Iwan, of course, still on those old hard tyres. He's battling for Jojo. He's not doing his medium tyres any good whatsoever. Iwan carries on. Jojo gets the DRS. And surely here, Jojo about to retake the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Down towards turn 1. He's down the inside of Iwan. He's taken the lead from Iwan. It's P1 for Jojo. It's P1 again for Ayabar. And VER second and third still. Bando Biz still staying ahead of the VER car of Niklas. And still holding on to P4, having been battling for the lead a couple of laps ago. This has been superb stuff between all of these drivers so far. And at the end of it all, Jojo, after his pit stop, has made his way back up the field. And he's now back into first place and already extending that gap over Iwan. Niklas now with Fruitful, not far behind him. Fruitful changing onto medium tyres, 6 laps to go, and he's now looking quite interested in this battling going on in front of him. Bit of a lock-up going into turn 10, but holds the car together. Nedgen's out. Nedgen's retired from the session, so 2 TRT drivers out of the race. Nedgen and Cliffy with Vapor Canoe still down in P18. Vapor Tread still down in P17. And Collins still 16th, so 3 VER drivers still down there. Kasu now is in a precarious position because he is only just inside the points, having said that he's 12 seconds in front of Dream Indigo. So shouldn't be such an issue for him. Once again, Iwan around the final corner, 8 tenths of a second behind Jojo, continues for another lap, as does Aqua. Behind him. Is Biz going to try and take the position back here from Aqua? He's getting closer in towards turn 1. Is he going to go down the inside? He's not quite close enough. Fruitful is still all over the back of Niklas. And XL Lando has left the session. So hopefully he'll return. TDB says we're screwed. Yeah, the vote of confidence from their fellow driver as Fruitful getting so close here to Niklas towards the chicane of 5, 6 and 7. Does he go down the inside now? Fruitful, he'll have a look. Oh, it's very close to Bando Biz, but the lock up there from Niklas just allowed him the space to go down the inside, and Fruitful makes the move work, goes up to P8, getting ahead of the VER driver, and it is now Bando Biz left next, I should say, for him to get past. Defensive in front of Bando Biz goes VER Aqua, but he's managed to keep hold of the position. So what is happening with... Yeah, so XL Lando, I think, is disconnected from the session. So, of course, it's an AI driving for him at the minute, which is costing him all sorts of positions. Just lost out to his teammate Neo. He's now about to lose out to his teammate XL Noon, and also to the Vapor driver Kasu. So, yeah, not a good moment this for XL Lando. He's now got 13 seconds back to Dream Indigo, back into the points. As the timing screen's giving me a bit of a song and dance, which is lovely to see from them. Right, Bando Biz into the pits then for TRT. And away he goes on the medium yellow wall tyres. As we get a lovely shot of the pit crew. I do love Codemasters. Legends, these guys. Legends. Right, round turn 4 has come Jojo. Still E1 behind him. So E1 still opting against pitting, as is Aqua and Niklas across the are on the hard tyres. I said earlier, we'll wait to see how long these guys can make their hard tyres last, because Green Indigo is still trying to make his hard tyres go, and you just wonder if he can make them go to the end. And of course, this goes on, 2 laps to go. You just wonder if he can, because these VER drivers are still going in the top 5. Niklas, though, is starting to climb back up, and he's just under 2 seconds now behind Niklas. M Short, though, on 5-lap-old hard tyres, 2 laps younger than Niklas's tyres, is closing in on him. So Niklas getting M Short in the pit stop phases. So an important one that for IFR, but as the VER drivers come into the pits and everything just never happened a bit. What happens, right? XL Neo is right behind Fat as well here, as M Short looks up into the final corner. Vulnerable here to XL Neo. Down towards turn 1 they go. Neo in the screen, getting very, very close indeed to the IFR car in front of him. And here comes Neo down the inside, and surely he's got the move done. Can he outbrake him? Well, it's a brilliant bit of defending round the outside by the IFR driver. A little bit of contact, a bit of bumper cars through turn 3, and they're still at it. And now down the inside goes Falk, and Neo manages to get ahead. So Neo into P8, Falk now down to P9 for IFR, so it's XL in P7 and P8, with of course all these VER drivers yet to pin in front of them. Niklas still well within the radar of M Short, and a matter of time you would think before M Short gets ahead on his fresher tyres, and theoretically at the moment anyway, quicker pace. Still then, E1 is holding on, isn't he here, to Jojo. He's not left with the load. King's out. 3 TRT drivers out of the race. Virtual safety car has been deployed, and TRT, who this season only have 2 points finishes to their name, now only have 1 driver left in the race, and it's Bando Biz, who at the minute is hanging on to the points, P13. Well, in TRT's own league, it couldn't have gone any worse for them so far in the first 3 races. Bando Biz, well, he's got everything on his shoulders now, with King, Legend and Fiffy all out of the Grand Prix. Jojo takes the chance now to come into the pits again, so he's on the medium tyres now. Yeah, we'll see quite a few, because Niklas and Aqua have both come in as well for VER. Iwan, though, still staying out there. Who else have we got in? Not many, actually. Not many drivers taking the opportunity in the virtual safety car. But under this virtual safety car, I will take the opportunity to tell you about TRT's sponsor, TRT in association with Rogue Energy, and the TRT Breakout League, brought to you by Rogue Energy, the world's most delicious gaming drinks, available in a vast variety of flavours, from mango to fruit punch, blue raspberry, and many more. Visit rogueenergydrinks.com to get yours today, and if you use the special code TRT21, you'll get your special TRT Esports discount. That's Rogue Energy, the world's most delicious gaming drinks. Right, Iwan then, P1 at the minute in this virtual safety car. And you just wonder if that possibly would have given him the chance to come into the pits had he decided to. I know obviously a couple of his teammates came in as well. For him. So he's 2.2 seconds clear of IFR Fruitful. What this pit stop would have done for Jojo was just allowed him to lose a lot less time in the pits than he ordinarily would do under normal racing conditions, as Iwan locks up massively. You can see how much he's starting to struggle now on these hard tyres. He slows it down, comes into the pits, and that is now him losing P1 plus Fruitful. He's still on those medium tyres that he put on the car 11 laps ago, and will surely have to change tyres again in the not too distant future. Same goes for Niklas. M Short, just half a second now behind him. XL Neo following him through. IFR Falk, XL Noon, then Kasu up in P7 for Vapor, also a 5-lap-old hard tyres now, so he'll be taking those to the end of the Grand Prix. Still just wonder if, Niklas, I think is going to go to the end. I think he's going to try to. M Short and XL Neo both on pressure rubber, So this surely now is XL's best chance yet of taking a win, because they've got one driver, IFR, who's surely got to come into the pits another time, and another driver who is going to be very vulnerable to two XL drivers behind. So XL have a chance here, and as far as they're concerned, they better not throw it away, because they want to stop IFR from extending that championship lead out front. Remember, 79 points up for grabs over the course of a TRT Breakout League event. Points going from first place down to 13th place. Points as well for the pole position. I want to say 79, I mean 79. All four cars up there, and you've got the pole position. Only 79 points in the maximum that any one team can gain. One of these races. Shortens, struggling to get past Mikras, and as a result, XL Neo is going to be rather interested in asking his teammate maybe to just move aside behind them. Meanwhile, lots of action going on here. Kasu side by side with Iwan. Oh, it's a spin for Kasu. Kasu's gone round for the Vapor team, and that's going to allow a lot of drivers. XL Lando getting ahead as well. We've got yellow flags now in Sector 1. Kasu rejoins the circuit in 11th place. Iwan and Niklas were involved in that battle. Van Beers in there too, who's just got ahead of Kasu. He wasn't involved in the racing, but he's now ahead of the Vapor driver. So Niklas and Iwan not exactly teaming up to take Kasu out, but Kasu involved in the incident between the two VER cars, and now down to P11 as Vapor's race continues to take a little bit well, as their event really takes a little bit of a nosedive. Alpha says, what happened there? I'm supposed to be a commentator. I'm supposed to know what's going on. But I didn't really know what was happening there. I just tried to spin, but yeah, he rejoined the track, and I think Vando Biz probably got an illegal overtake, I would say, for passing on the yellow flag, so he had to slow down. Excuse me, I should say Epson Lando, I think, got a warning for overtaking on the yellow flag, so I think that's why he had to slow down and just let Kasu rejoin the circuit in P11, which is a bit of a bummer because it shouldn't really be how it goes. But anyway, so Kasu, as a result of that spin, now down to P11 as we rejoin this lot out towards the front. Mikras doing such a good job here of holding his own against the two XL drivers behind him. And once again, the longer this goes on, the more Fruitful's going to start to think, you know what, can I take these medium tyres to the end of the Grand Prix? Because he is 4 seconds clear of Mikras. That gap is pretty consistent. It's certainly going to be an interesting development towards the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Down towards turn 11 we come. M Short still half a second behind Mikras. XL Neo still, I think, posing the question, can I be allowed past my teammate, please, to have a go at this IFR car in front? Because right now, you rather get the impression that XL might just be throwing this race away. XL Lando has spun. XL Lando off. So an XL car, whilst his teammates are running out towards the front, has spun off and broken his front wing. Down in P30, he's about to lose that position to VER Aqua, who, after his pit stop, has fallen outside the points, that's for sure. And still, we've got Vapor, Canute, Colin and Trench down in those final 3 positions. Nedyan saying, Neo just ruined my race. XL Neo in P3 at the moment, and Fruitful into the pits. So yeah, Fruitful has had to pit. So I think he was starting just to wonder if he could go to the end of the medians, but I think he realised that he couldn't. He is on the soft tyres now though, and potentially is going to go for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So that will be important for IFR. Every point counts, especially when it's so even out front. Mikras at this point is the only IFR driver now in the top 3. But Falk, you can see Falk is right behind this battle between the top 3 here. And when does Neo then start to become just a little bit impatient? And when does he start to wonder why he's not being allowed past his team, because then Short's really struggling now to get ahead of the race leader Mikras. And I'm just kind of thinking that XL are shooting themselves in the foot, because the longer they stay like this, stuck behind Mikras, the more chance it gives Falk to get ahead. Here comes Neo down towards turn 1, and he's still not close enough for the move on end short because it's a DRS train. Of course, that DRS train applies to Falk as well. Jojo making his way back up on the medium tyres, 6 seconds behind. He needs to, I think, make up more time than that. Ewan gets past XL Noon meanwhile. So Noon now down to P7. Ewan up into P6. Just wonder, can Ewan break into that top 5? They'll press off. So yeah, Jojo in the end with that early pit stop, I think. Did he win his race with the early stop? Did that cost him? Because the BER guys, I think, ended up holding up a little bit in that middle stint. Came out in a fair bit of traffic, and I think that just cost him too much time. I think Jojo made a huge mistake in pitting early, and that shows right now because he's in P5, just under 5 seconds now, behind, just 5 seconds now behind Falk. So yeah, this is a struggle, this, for Jojo, and I think he'll be just wondering why he pitted so early. Number 5 it was when he came into the pits. Yeah, I think he'll be a little bit annoyed at that one, but we'll see what he can do. It's now 4.5. Here comes Neo then. M-Short's fallen 7 tenths of a second behind Mikras, so M-Short's really struggling here to take the lead. Here comes Neo. No, still no change, is there, between the XL drivers? 6 laps to go then of the Bahrain Grand Prix. So let me know in the comments who's going to win this Grand Prix. Are IFR going to make it 3 out of 3? Will XL become just the second team to win a race in this TRT Breakout League in round number 3 here in Bahrain? Still got the Vapor guys down towards the bottom of the order. Vapor Canoe in P13. Oh, this is tight. Niklas and Fruitful barging his way past the BER driver of Niklas, with Bando Biz a couple of seconds behind these two. So Niklas down at P9. IFR Fruitful taking his position and getting himself now up into 8th place. Still, this continues. Still, XL struggling to beat IFR for the race win. And I said this was a real chance for XL to take the lead. And at the minute, it's not happening. XL landed with the fastest ever the Grand Prix, 126.6 in P15, I'm trying to say. Here comes Ed Short. Is this going to be the lead now? Tries to go round the outside of Mikras. Mikras goes defensive and defends it. And Neo has to stay behind for the time being. But this is now a chance up the hill through turn 3. And as they head towards turn 4, XL, I said, had shot themselves in the foot. But now, as Ed Short goes round the outside, is this going to be the lead for XL? Is this going to be the moment that IFR have the throw taken off them? Oh, yes, it is! Because Mikras spins round. Mikras defended the position too hard. He spins round in the IFR car. He was so desperate to hold on to the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And as a result, he's not just lost the lead, he's lost a place on the podium. And IFR have conceded the 1-2 now to XL. But IFR Falk now on the podium. Jojo in P4, just under 3 seconds behind Falk. And now all of a sudden here, it's looking like XL are going to have the win. But Falk will surely, if he possibly can, have something to say about it between now and the end of this Bahrain Grand Prix. It was really great stuff from M Short going round the outside. But in the end, you would say Mikras should have backed out, fought it a little bit too hard. And meanwhile, Fruitful defending from XL Noon. Noon on the, 12 lap old. So yeah, Fruitful just getting ahead of him, but Luna's got DRS to try and now come back at him. Down towards turn 1 they go, and he's got the slipstream, and he's getting very, very close indeed. And down the inside he goes to try and get back ahead of the IFR car. And XL goes very wide and pushes Fruitful off the track. I just wonder if that's going to be one for the stewards to have a look at the end of the race, because was that a little bit too aggressive whilst making the move from XL Noon. Well, certainly wasn't the most gentlemanly move you've ever seen, but he has the position anyway from the IFR driver. XL at the moment with the lead from IFR. About now half a second behind XL Neo as he loses the back end following the exit of turn 10. And, Jojo is closing that gap massively now, and again, you just wonder if IFR are now going to be the ones looking for a switch. The problem is they've only got 4 laps left, so if that's going to happen, it needs to happen really, really quick. At the minute, it looks pretty unlikely that IFR are going to be able to stop XL, barring some sort of drama here for XL. From taking this win. Into the final turn then. There's half a second between the 2 XL drivers as well. There's Neo here, having eyes on a race win. Stealing away from his teammate. The good news for Neo is that he's just broken DRS back to Falk. So Falk has now fallen 1.5 seconds behind XL Neo. And Neo's argument now is surely going to be that he's quicker, and if he doesn't get allowed past his teammate, he's going to be vulnerable, as that switch happens behind. So Falk lets Jojo pass. So the team play from IFR, and the switch has now happened. And Jojo here on his fresh medium tyres, as he's slightly losing the momentum for turn 4, can try and now set after the XL drivers. But is it too little too late? Because we're on lap 27 and lap 29. I just wonder if he's even got enough time left to catch up to the XL guys, let alone past them. He's got 2 seconds to make up. Has to rely on XL Neo being a little bit greedy and going for a banzai move down the inside somewhere. But I think at this point of the race, with so little time left, XL would be calling their driver off and just telling him to stay put, because there's nothing really to gain from going hammer and tong at each other here. So IFR, P3, P4, P6, P7, XL, P1, P2, P8 and P15. XL Lando outside of the points paying position at the moment. IFR looking good as Fruitful manages to get ahead of Mikras, so a change there for IFR. P6 and P7. Look how close Neo is here. Oh, as he goes slightly wide as well through turn 1. He's getting a little bit impatient and a little bit edgy, because you can see how much Jojo's now starting to gain behind them. He's 1.5 seconds back. He's trying here to get in towards that DRS range ahead of the final lap of the race, but XL doing as much as they can to make sure that doesn't happen. Neo's going to be praying that M Short just speeding up a little bit, find a little bit more pace, because Jojo just over a second behind now. It's going to be a 10th finish. Can XL pull off the 1-2? Is it going to be the result that hasn't quite gone for them yet? The victory has evaded them in the opening 2 races. And has it evaded them here in round number 3? Well, it certainly looks as though that is not the case, because IFR, well, Jojo's 2-stop strategy, I said that the early stop had probably cost him the race win, and I think it has done. There is only a second separating them as you head towards the final lap. Oh, is Jojo going to have enough here? That's really going to have to be some hell of a move from Jojo to get ahead. He's 9/10 back from XL Neo. He will have DRS down this home straight, but Neo's going to have DRS as well than his teammate. Here comes Neo. M Short's going to have to let him go, and Neo takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix on the final lap. So Neo here has his name in the headlines as he goes into P1, overtakes M Short. Is that going to cost XL the time that Jojo needs to close up? No, it's not, because they've managed to work that pretty well. Have XL so as not to lose too much time at all. So it was looking at him short. It's now looking very much like Neo to take the Grand Prix victory here in Bahrain. It was Jojo who took pole position, and it was him that led the race off the start. Lost the lead actually initially to Neo in the early stages before getting it back brilliantly round the outside of turn 4. Then made a very early pit stop indeed, and that has ultimately cost him the Grand Prix because he had to stop later in the Grand Prix, and even the intervention of a virtual safety car was not enough for Jojo to recover back up to P1. He was involved in traffic as well in his middle stint, which didn't help him one bit as Iwan goes P4. Iwan ahead of Falk. So Iwan here getting ahead of IFR. Falk, who I think he's made a mistake somewhere, and that's cost him a lot. But now here comes Jojo. Is he close enough? No, he's not. And XL, they've had to wait 3 rounds. IFR denied them twice. XL will not be denied this time. XL Neo wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. XL on the top step in Bahrain. IFR Jojo, who started on pole, has to settle for just a place on the podium in 3rd. Iwan in P4. Frickful P5. Niklas takes 6. Mikras in 7. 7th place. XL Noon P8. Bandabins P9. And look at Kasu getting ahead of Falk. So Falk down to P11 after some drama on the final of him. So Kasu getting up to P10 for Vapor. The highest TRT driver in P9 was Bando Biz. The highest Vapor driver in P10 with Kasu. Not a good day for either Vapor or TRT Esports. VER with a car in P4 through Iwan. And a slightly better day for them. And it's VER's, well, wait for a podium, which still continues after the 3rd round. It's still only Vapor, XL and IFR who have scored podiums so far. It's 2 more podiums for XL. It's 1 more for IFR. It's a brilliant day. Well, in terms of victory, it's a brilliant day for XL. In terms of cars in the points, it's a better day for IFR. All 4 points scoring cars, all 4 cars scoring points, I should say, for them this evening. And we're still waiting for Colin to cross the line for Vapor. There he goes. Awful result for Vapor. And Colin's late finish across the line really just goes to prove that. And, well, it is XL Neo winning for the XL team. And a fantastic race for them. Strategically, it was brilliant. Racing-wise, it was fantastic. And, well, strategy-wise, in the end, it was frustrating for IFR. Denied a victory. It's a well-deserved podium celebration for XL. They're 1 and 2. Neo taking the win on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Taking it away from M Short. But it's XL with both cars up on the podium, up on the 2 top steps of the podium. And now it is game on in the championship. XL taking the lead of the championship with this 1-2. XL Neo in P1, M Short in P2, Jojo in P3, VER Iwan, the highest VER driver in 4th place. IFR Fruitful in P5, Niklas takes 6th place, Mikras in 7th, XL Noon in P8, Bando Beers in P9, Kasu in P10. So another disappointing evening for TRT and for Vapor. IFR Falk, the lowest scoring IFR car in P11, VER Aqua P12. Vapor Canute takes the final points for Vapor, so in the end, something to take away from the evening for them. VER Dream Indigo in P14 after what was looking like a pretty decent start for him. XL Lando P15, the only XL driver to finish outside the points. And, well, Vapor's day compounded. Vapor Trench P16, Colin P17. And the list of retirements, well, that exclusively belongs to TRT Esports. King, Ledyen and Cliffy, with Bando Biz, their only finisher, up in 9th place at the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And that concludes that for this evening. It was all IFR in terms of race wins. XL have stormed the IFR party. They take the lead of the Grand Prix. They take the lead of the championship as we head to round number 4 next Thursday. Until then, good night.